to all our viewers out there. Welcome back to News9 Live, and I'm Shriya Kundu, back here with all the latest updates of the hour from across the nation and around the world. And well, we continue to keep our focus on the nation and June 4th, the result, the mandate that came out that got released on June 4th. And what seems to be is there is one winner that's emerged out. That is the people of the country. They've shown their power that they possess in democracy and the fact that they have used their right to vote. Well, with that now, let's quickly get into the top focus for the day, which is us analyzing the results that's come out yesterday, with the NDA standing at 292, the India bloc standing at 234 and others around 17. Now, there are still speculations about whether certain parties will make a shift in the alliance that they are supporting or not, but well, we'll come to all of that. Right now, let's start our bulletin with our focus on Karnataka. Switching our focus to Karnataka, BJP and JDS combined won 19 seats, while the Congress won 9 seats from this particular state. In fact, we will be joined by our reporter Mohammad Wajiullah as well to take us through all that happened in Karnataka yesterday and what are the shocks and the surprises that came out from their state. Because when we speak each of these states, the results that have come out from each of these states, we can see quite a few shocks. One of them yesterday, one of the mandates we saw yesterday was from Hassan, where we saw Prajwal Revannan. Well, Hassan had been quite a crucial seat for the JDS and they had retained power. It was HD Kumaraswamy who had won from this seat several times. Prajwal Revanna was the MP from this seat, and yet we saw quite a disappointing mandate for them yesterday. We saw quite a disappointing result for them yesterday. So we'll get into the conversation of all of this with Wajiullah as he joins with us currently. Waji, well, let's also start the conversation with, while BJP could be seen making inroads in a couple of states in the south, something seems to have gone down wrong in Karnataka, where last time they had won around 25 seats, if I'm not mistaken, while this time it's a combination with JDS that won 19.
Well, yes, in Karnataka, if you see, both BJP and Congress somewhere or the other have made inroads but are not happy with the inroads that they have done. Now, BJP though have reduced the number of votes, number of seats as per the tally of 2019, but they have won those seats where the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister had strongholds, like Mysore, where the Maharaja was contesting. We had interviewed him. Then apart from Mysore, the other seats were Mysore, Kodagu, where Chief Minister was campaigning, and then DK Shivkumar, the Bangalore rural seat where DK Shivkumar's brother DK Suresh was campaigning. BJP won those seats which they had lost in 2019. So this was something that the BJP won, but when you look at the numbers, they were clearly unhappy. I spoke to Ashwath Narayan yesterday, the BJP leader, and he said that he is unhappy with the fact that their projection was 23 to 24, but they have to settle for 17, and with the alliance there, it has come down to 19. So things at a few places went wrong. It could be he also accepted the fact that Prajwal Revanna's video could have been one of the reasons. The case could have been one of the reasons why Hassan is a seat that they lost, because Hassan is a place where, as you mentioned, both Deve Gowda and Kumaraswamy, the family had a stronghold in that place. So a lot of things went wrong for the BJP with regards to what they had targeted. But with regards to Congress, well, that was a complete surprise, because they have the government in the state and they're expected close to 12 to 15 seats in the state, but they ended up at 9. So that was really surprising for them also. In fact, we could not speak to any of the Congress leaders yesterday, as they did not clearly engage that much with the media, other than the press conference that DK Shivkumar had done. But apart from that, so this was the mood in Karnataka with regards to the numbers that came out yesterday. But if you look at the scenarios that turned nationally, they're quite happy with it. The Congress is somewhere happy that, yes, from a single digit, they've managed to make inroads in 9 seat and get some this thing. But if you see Karnataka, this has been the pattern from a very long time. Every time you have a different government in the state manages to vote somebody who is different in the center. Even when we had Siddaramaiah in the first term, the state had given mandate to the BJP. So this has been a pattern in Karnataka, and it continues like it has always been.
Right, Vaji, we'll come back to you quickly in a short while. Let's also bring in our esteemed panel for this hour. Ravi Srivastav, political analyst, joining us, as well as senior journalist Gautam Mukherjee joining me on the broadcast. A very good morning to both you gentlemen. Ravi, I'll come to you first. Well, let's also take our discussion a little further down south with Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. All three of these states, in fact, for that matter, even Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. While we see surprising inroads having been made by the BJP in certain of these states, where in fact it was not even expected, like a Kerala. But again, we also see a contradictory perspective in Tamil Nadu, where clearly the Annamalai factor didn't play out well.
True. You have seen Annamalai was quite confident in the beginning, and I think BJP had fielded around 24 candidates also in Tamil Nadu, and none of them could succeed. So as far as the BJP's presence in South is concerned, I'm not finding a very major radical change in their presence. As far as Kerala is concerned, they have won, the Gopi has won the seat, so they have made inroad into Kerala, which is a unique thing because they could not ever do it. So they have made their presence in Kerala, they have entered there. As regards Karnataka is concerned, I was not expecting more than what has actually Congress has got, 9 seats. It is a 1 year before only that Congress government has taken over. And prior to that election in 19, there were 25 seats for BJP. At this time, BJP was literally struggling. But they fielded some good candidates, like that cardiologist Manjunath who has won. And I am more surprised about the win of the Tejasvi Surya and Shobha Karandlaje in Bangalore North and South. So those are the seats, because Tejasvi Surya had been a very controversial person and making a lot of communal comments here and there. And during COVID, his role was very, very suspicious. But still, he could sail through, and they got it. But as far as the Andhra Pradesh is concerned, I think this is a coalition of compulsion. Chandrababu Naidu was jailed. Chandrababu Naidu was jailed on a corruption case of the KP Isgal Corporation, and Chandrababu Naidu had got no option but to enter into a agreement with the BJP to make a coalition with the Jan Sena and all three. They could sail through very well, and they have got it. BJP also got their share of the seats as far as Andhra is concerned. But Telangana also, BJP has made a little headway by making 8 seats. But Congress has also come up very well. They have got 8 and 1 for the AIMIM. So BJP has not much to celebrate as far as South is concerned. Yeah.
Right, Ravi. We will come back to you quickly. Right now, let's also take our focus to Bihar, another state that's been quite a point of discussion for us since yesterday. Politics can be difficult, but that did not stop JDU's Nitish Kumar and RJD's Tejasvi Yadav from travelling on the same plane to attending 2 different alliance meetings in Delhi. Well, Nitish Kumar will be attending the NDA meet, while Tejasvi Yadav will be attending the India bloc meet. Currently, joining me on the broadcast is Kabir Naqvi from the newsroom to take us through all that's happening, give us all the latest updates, and also put it into perspective for our viewers out there. Kabir, do help us understand what exactly is in the itinerary for both these leaders. And well, what we are seeing currently is that they seem to have come together again after what just had unfolded a few months back when Nitish Kumar parted ways with the India bloc and joined the NDA.
Absolutely right, Shreya. But I mean, them coming together this time is, by fate and by chance, because they got the seats right to each other. Apparently, they're on the same flight that is now heading towards the national capital. I do not know their itinerary per se, but I do know they're not going to be attending the same meeting, that's for sure. What's going to transpire in the due course of that flight? Well, we'll have to wait and find out. We'll just throw those pictures out there on the screen for the viewers to look at as well, how Nitish Kumar is seated right ahead of Tejashwi Yadav. Now, earlier in the day, we already saw Sharad Pawar heading towards the national capital. Several NDA leaders, including Kumaraswamy, they're making their way to the national capital. I mean, these are two coalition era veterans. Chandrababu Naidu with TDP 16 seats and about 14-15 seats. For JDU, Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu have emerged as kingmakers, which is why all the focus is on them. Now, Chirag Paswan, he's already met with Nitish Kumar earlier in the day and advised him to stay with the NDA. We all know that he has now been dubbed as the Pultu Master. You don't know what side he's going to jump and when. Now, Tejashwi Yadav, interestingly, in a separate reaction to the media, has said that, well, it is now on Nitish Kumar. If he gets a fat portfolio, even the Prime Minister's post, you never know what's going to happen. He must put pressure for a special status for Bihar. That is the pressure that is now being put on Nitish Kumar. But on the other side, on the other hand, Shreya, it's interesting to look that there are also source-based information out there that both these coalition-era veterans, including Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar, pressure politics and pressure tactics have started to be deployed by these two as well. The post of the Speaker of the Parliament, the lower house of the Parliament, that is something that is now coming into focus a little bit. We'll have to wait and find out till the flight actually lands what transpired from between that flight. But those visuals that are now on the screen, you can see Tejashwi Yadav right behind Nitish Kumar. I mean, from a fair share and a limited sense of my political experience and knowledge, I can say that there is going to be some sort of banter that's going to take place on that aircraft. Probably the panelists with you on the show could divulge further. Back to you, Shreya.
Right, Kabir. In fact, quite rightly put, interesting times ahead. We will definitely wait for that flight to land and understand whether or not any conversation has taken place. But right now, let me also cut across to Gautam, who's also joining us on the broadcast. Gautam, while some actually, maximum people out there in fact say, yes, definitely, Nitish Kumar is known as the Paltu Master at this point. But what's also turned out, the circumstances have also turned out to be such that it's being speculated whether he is the kingmaker this election. And at this point, with the JDU having scored the same number of seats as the BJP in Bihar, what does the situation seem like? What do you think, Nitish Kumar, will he continue being with the NDA, or is there even a slight chance that he might head towards the India bloc again? I mean, at the end of the day, he was the one who had laid the foundation of this bloc with some of the other leaders.
Well, I think he's definitely going to stay with the NDA for the time being. He has, I think, 12 seats, and Chandrababu Naidu has 16 seats. These are not numbers which are even sufficient by themselves, though they bring the India tally closer to 272, but it's no match for 292, which is comfortably greater than the minimum required. Not only that, in the first instance, in the coming months, both Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar stand to gain much more from, and in a direct, no problem way, from the BJP and the NDA for their states, for their own personal stature, in terms of appointing people at the center, while retaining their hold very firmly on their states. I don't think either Nitish or Chandrababu Naidu are looking to move to the center personally because they have to hang on to their states, which they have fought for and got after a long time. And I'm certain that BJP NDA will accommodate them. As the time goes on, and if they have fresh demands, and by which time I also expect the NDA itself to be more settled, looking at other options. There are some, we see a figure of 17 people in the other list. The NDA alliance itself is a huge and unwieldy alliance with very little in common beyond having come together for winning these 233 seats. Congress has more or less peaked at and is over the moon with the fact that it's almost or doubled its tally. But where to from here? Not nowhere, because there's nowhere to go till 2029. Can they form a credible opposition, a constructive opposition, something that impresses the people between now and 2029? It's doubtful. Knowing that, penchant to really be focused on their states rather than the central leadership. I can't see Mamata Banerjee and Stalin taking too much interest in what goes on at the center when they have a state to run in which they are supreme. So for the moment and for the foreseeable future, I think the NDA alliance is pretty secure and will only get stronger from here on. The other thing that we have already seen the Prime Minister say yesterday night, that look, I'm not going to pussyfoot. I am going to get on with my agenda. I am going to nail the corrupt. I am going to get on with defense manufacturing and all my bold initiatives. And I fully believe him. Amongst other things, he's 73 now. This is probably his last innings, and he is not going to be mild about it. He's going to do the best he can. He will, of course, put all his negotiating and charm skills to work to make sure that the coalition partners, just like so many people have said that he's got on so well with so many world leaders, there is absolutely no reason why he won't get on with both Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. After all, he's worked with them in the past. He knows them, they know him very well. And this is a very different scenario for the NDA from Vajpayee's time, when he had much fewer numbers and a big unwieldy 40-member coalition. Here, you're just 30, 40, say 40 if you want to say it in round figures, short of the majority, with one or two to spare. And therefore, you are pretty strong, as is. This 240 seats is bigger than the entire opposition put together. So while this was a big departure from what was expected by one and all, it will do for the third consecutive term. It is adequate to make a meal out of.
Right, Gautam. Absolutely. In fact, that's very well put for the viewers out there. We will come back to our discussion on whether Nitish Kumar is indeed going to end up becoming the kingmaker this election season or not on the other side of this short break.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
20,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
Start with the end in mind. You need to know where you want to reach. Every morning that we wake up, we are exercising our choice. The destiny is decided. The results are known that I'm going to win. Life of a goalkeeper is something which has always intrigued me. When you come into a stadium, this is the highest level of pressure. When I set out to do something, I decide in my mind that failure is not an option.
What you feel very strongly about, those are the stories to tell.
I have a mind which is absolutely restless.
Mind and body are entangled sensations.
That brings me back to golf. It's an amazing game.
This is not a perfect game. You only learn from them.
If you have a formula to a success, then you can replicate it.
I feel this is my first step. I'm starting now.
Winner is first born in the mind. I think, therefore I am. We are all about our mind.
World premiere every Saturday on News9 Live at 9 p.m.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
Welcome back. You're watching News9 Live, and at the top of this segment, we take your focus to Maharashtra. As we speak about the result and analyze it in depth, let's also take a look at the turnaround that's taken place, where the opposition, Mahavikas Aghadi, dealt a rude jolt to the ruling Eknath Shinde-led Mahayuti alliance in the Lok Sabha results by leading on 29 of the 48 seats in Maharashtra, with the opposition Congress having made a remarkable renaissance to emerge as the single largest party in the state by leading on 13 constituencies. The ruling Mahayuti led barely 17 of the 49 seats. And with that, we're being joined by our colleague Kiran Tare from Maharashtra, who's closely covered the polls and will bring us other details from the ground to help us understand this result better. Kiran, well, help us understand. Earlier, we were also conversing about one of the key seats, or rather one of the key contests being between Supriya Sule and Sunetra Pawar, simply because of the family conflict that had been underway, with the NCP having broken up into two portions, one being led by Sharad Pawar and the other by Ajit Pawar. Take us through the contest that took place in Baramati, and the result being Supriya Sule having continued to keep control of their family bastion of Sharad Pawar.
Of course, Shreya, Baramati was, of course, a very important and very prominent election for two reasons. As you said, it was a family feud between the uncle and the nephew, and on the other side, it was the parameter on which Ajit Pawar's political future would have been decided. So Baramati was all important. But in this election, what has happened? Sharad Pawar's goodwill, his connect, and his all efforts to go out of the box and reconnect with the old enemies have paid a very good price for Supriya Sule. What Pawar had done, Pawar was sitting idle in his house for almost a month. But as soon as he realized that Ajit Pawar has taken a lead, he changed his strategy. He reached out to his old enemies. There are several political influential families in Baramati constituency, and those were the rivals of Sharad Pawar since 1960s. We must tell the viewers that Pawar had never talked to this family in last 50 years. So Pawar stepped out his home, he reached out to them, and he offered them an olive branch, and it worked. There was a truce between these families and Pawar. Pawar must have promised them some political dividend as well. We don't know what happened behind the curtain. We don't know what transpired between them and what kind of deal it was. But something has happened. These political families managed to garner their supporters' votes for Supriya Sule. On the other hand, what Ajit Pawar did, Ajit Pawar was sitting in a bubble that he was under impression that the BJP supporters would help him, the Shiv Sena supporters would help him, and out of Baramati town, Ajit Pawar was largely banking on the BJP base. The BJP supporters here in this case, it seems that they did not work or they did not help Ajit Pawar because it was Ajit Pawar who had harassed the BJP workers and the BJP supporters in the past on the instructions of Sharad Pawar, and there was a kind of anger among the BJP supporters against Ajit Pawar. So they remained silent, they remained neutral. On the other hand, Sharad Pawar was reaching out to the old rivals, and he managed to bring everyone across the table under one roof. One also thing, another what Sharad Pawar did very smartly, that he managed to convince the Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi not to field a candidate Baramati. Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi has 50,000 dedicated votes in Baramati constituency. So the Vanchit Aghadi did not field his candidate and announced its support to Supriya Sule. So Supriya Sule's race with Sunetra Pawar started from not 0-0, it was 50,000 versus 0. Supriya was leading from 50,000 on the day one, the moment Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi did not field his candidate in Baramati. So all these things, political maneuvering, the political permutations and combinations, Pawar himself did, and that has worked. It is not a victory of Supriya Sule, but it is a victory of Sharad Pawar, his political goodwill and his political ground connection plus political mathematics as well. Pawar, it is all Pawar, and Ajit Pawar failed to understand that Sharad Pawar, when he joins the field, he could be cunning, he could go to any extent. Pawar might be convincing, Pawar might be cunning, Pawar might be cruel, Pawar might be terror, Pawar can do anything to win an election. And that is how Ajit Pawar must have realized now the biggest mistake he has done in Baramati, that he was under an impression that the BJP will support him. BJP, of course, it seems that BJP supporters have not voted for Ajit Pawar, and that is the biggest lesson Ajit Pawar would have learnt in his political life so far.
Definitely. A veteran coming to power with Supriya Sule as the face of it in Baramati is what it looks like in this very intense contest that took place within the family, but between the two candidates. Also, let's cut across to Ravi Srivastav. Now, Ravi, there's a very interesting comment made. Well, I think we have lost that connection with Ravi Srivastav. We'll try and get back with him on this. Right now, Gautam Mukherjee also continues to be with us. Gautam, I'll come to you with this question. In fact, Devendra Fadnavis yesterday made a very interesting statement after the results that there was a fear that had been put forward, or rather that was a propaganda of the opposition, that if the BJP or rather the NDA comes to power, they shall change the constitution. And it is based on this fear that the voters have gone, that apparently resonated with the voters, and that's what they based their votes on in Maharashtra and also probably the rest of the country. How far do you think this statement actually not just stands true at this point, but actually did resonate with the voters out there?
There was a lot of such messaging on the part of the India Alliance. This is one. They also said that this man is going to be dictatorial. You give him the 400 sort of number, he will change the constitution. He will do a lot of things that you don't want. So don't vote for it. Now, this was one part of it. The other part that they did very, very successfully, almost the different parties, whether it was SP in UP, Congress to a certain extent, certainly Congress elsewhere, is consolidate the Muslim vote bank. By doing this, and scaring them into voting for them. They have achieved good number of seats because most of the Muslim vote bank, wherever it exists, is not scattered. They live in very densely populated areas all together. So the vote went en masse in their favor. And with this Sabka Vikas attitude that the Prime Minister was promoting, which has worked very well in the international arena, has been appreciated by the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and a number of Muslim countries, both Iran for that matter, both Shia and Sunni. But domestically, the core voter of the BJP doesn't like it. The core voter of the BJP does not like the fact that the Prime Minister went out of his way to be even-handed with the minorities, because they feel that that is a deviation from what BJP stands for in their eyes. And, this is something that should not be going on. So there's an anger, if you like, amongst the BJP voter, the core voter, and apparently many of them just refused to vote. They didn't go. Whereas the other side had the Muslims voting in droves. So a combination, and then in a lot of places, including UP, the ticket selection was not based on local inputs, but it was done at the high command level. Now, this happened in the Agadi, Shinde's setup. It happened in Ajit Pawar's setup. It certainly happened in UP, where Yogi's suggestions were put aside by Nadda, and they chose people other than what was suggested by the local people. Now,
right, Gautam. Continue.
Combination of all this, they have lost surprising amounts in various places, and most tellingly in UP and Maharashtra.
Right, Gautam. In fact, Gautam, with that, I'm going to go back to my colleague Kiran Thare. Kiran, at this point, there's also another question. I think there is some issue with that connection as well. So I will, in fact, come back to Gautam with that. Gautam, you're speaking about complacency. Let's also take a look at Vidarbha. Vidarbha used to be a bastion for the BJP as well, and the NDA as well in Maharashtra. And the lone leader who seems to actually have performed very well from there is Nitin Gadkari. How are we looking at that?
Well, it's another point that I want to mention is that the RSS has stayed aloof in this election. They are not too keen on getting too involved in the politics of it. Now, you need the RSS. They're excellent on the ground at the grassroots level. And the BJP was mistaken if they thought they could do without the RSS. This is Vidarbha, as you pointed out, and where they were counting the 70 votes in UP, they were counting at least half in Maharashtra. It just went to seed because their own organization cannot do what the RSS can do. Nitin Gadkari has the personal stature, and he is very close to the RSS, so he gets their backing on a personal wicket, quite apart from his stature in the BJP. So there you are. That's what happened.
Right, Gautam. In fact, it seems like a combination of factors which seems to have given a reality check of sorts to the entire Mahayuti alliance in Maharashtra. While right now, we'll shift our focus from Maharashtra to Congress leader Jairam Ramesh, who's now taken a dig at Union Minister Amit Shah. And Jairam Ramesh says that Amit Shah has been caught in a web which he himself spun. This, in fact, on your screen is the tweet, or rather the post on social media platform X that's come from Jairam Ramesh attacking Amit Shah, that he's been caught in a web which he himself spun. In fact, I'll just, to remind our viewers, right ahead of the elections, it was Jairam Ramesh who had come across and placed a complaint to the Election Commission against Amit Shah, saying that he had been in conversation with certain people in the with regards to the elections as well. A complaint which didn't really stand true in front of the Election Commission because there was no evidence that was put forward by Jairam Ramesh. So it had fallen through right ahead of the counting day. And right now we see Jairam Ramesh yet again attacking Amit Shah. With that, now I'm being joined by our colleague Kabir Naqvi once again from the newsroom. Kabir, do you think it's almost this jibe that's taken by Jairam Ramesh, as we've been saying, that Congress has been celebrating their defeat also at this point, given the numbers that's come up yesterday? Do you think this is yet another example of that?
Well, absolutely. I mean, he is the communications in charge of, the Congress party. If something comes from his, social media handle or his mouth, it's supposed to be the party statement. And take a look at the level of this new dig that he's made at the Union Home Minister. He says the self-proclaimed Chanakya, Amit Shah, has finally been badly caught in a web that he himself laid. The king of kings who fooled the public at every step, challenged the biggest capitalists, is today knocking on many doors with a bowl in his hand looking for donation of seats. But, then again, the tweet was actually originally made out in the Hindi language. I'm going to read it out in the Hindi language as well, because there's a little bit of a political infit Easter egg that's hidden over here as well. Because khatakat was something that Rahul Gandhi used every now and then over the last 1 month or so in his rallies all across the country, but more primarily in Uttar Pradesh, where the khatakat jibe, it really stuck. Take a look at what Jairam Ramesh says. He says, Swaghoshit Chanakya Amit Shah आखिरकार अपने ही बिछाए हुए जाल में बुरी तरह फंस चुके हैं। जनता को हर कदम पर बेवकूफ़ बनाने वाले और बड़े से बड़े पुंजपतियों को आंख दिखाने वाले शाहों के शाह हाथ में कटोरा लिए सीटों की बख्शीश ढूंढते हुए कई दरवाजे खटाखट खटखटा रहे हैं। That's the latest that we wanted to bring to the viewers at this point in time. This is the Congress's, main mouthpiece that has taken another wheeled dig. Not so much wheeled this time around, to be honest, actually, at the Union Home Minister. We'll keep coming with the latest developments. Back to you, Shreya.
Thank you, Kabir, for taking us through that post made by Jairam Ramesh. With that, I'll go back to Gautam. Gautam, as I was just mentioning, Jairam Ramesh had lodged a complaint against Amit Shah right ahead of the counting day, that he was in conversation with 150 district magistrates and collectors ahead of the counting day. And now, the numbers, in fact, have come up in a way that Jairam Ramesh has yet again taken a dig at Amit Shah. And this time, it seems like it's not at all a veiled dig, and the political mudslinging has officially begun. Amit Shah seems to be in a tough spot, according to Jairam Ramesh. What do you have to say?
Well, I think, the boost received by the results has emboldened him to be this direct. That business of the DMs was pure fabrication, because when the EC said, well, give me some proof, give me some instances, he just said, I need more time, so it was shoot and scoot. Here again, he is taunting the Home Minister, thinking that, possibly the BJP may hold him responsible for some of the setbacks, because even though Nadda is the party chief, Nadda is more or less Amit Shah's protege and tends to consult him a great deal. And Chanakya, the reference to Chanakya is because for long, right from 2014 elections onwards, the electoral maths as well as the electoral strategy has largely come from Amit Shah. So this time, they're making much of it. But if you think about it in real terms, all that the Indie opposition has achieved is a bridge too far. They've got 230 with a bunch of people in the alliance. So it's not one party. The biggest take is indeed Congress is at 93 or so. The next one is Akhilesh Yadav at 34, and so on down the road to ones and twos. So when they are bouncing up and down, trying to taunt the BJP, they should also recall and remember that this kind of thing, if the India Alliance had achieved 292 seats, they would be over the moon. They're not going to do it. They're going to sit in the opposition with their 233 seats. They are not a formal opposition. It is not really a pre-poll alliance in the sense that they've formed themselves into one unit. They're going to be different parties who happen to have come together for the elections in terms of electoral arrangements. But now what will they do? They'll be sitting in the opposition without power. And Modi, in a manner, it's somebody else said that it reminds him of Narasimha Rao's term, where he was in a minority and went through his entire 5 years with great success, using different allies and friends from time to time, and managed without any real problems throughout his tenure. Here, they've got a pre-poll alliance, which actually is in a majority, quite a comfortable majority. But let us remember, the Prime Minister has 25 years at the top between Chief Minister and Prime Minister, and he knows what to do. Shreya.
Right, Gautam, in fact, do stay with us right now. We also have some recent update coming in. Union Cabinet meeting is currently underway. This is the breaking news we are bringing to you. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah is attending the meet currently. The meet is taking place at the Prime Minister's residence. Remember, we had told you earlier in the day as well that the Union Cabinet meeting is to take place, and it has officially begun, and it's being held at the Prime Minister's office today. Well, quite a few topics to be discussed, definitely, for the NDA to form their new government. We do have to keep a lookout as to what portfolio is being given to who for this new term that they are to begin. With that, we have Kabir Naqvi again back with us from the newsroom. Kabir, could you please take us through the latest updates that we are getting with regards to this meeting being underway? We'll try and get Kabir from the newsroom quickly and in a short while, but also these are the latest updates that we are getting. The meeting is currently underway in the Prime Minister's residence. Remember, in terms of meeting, today seems to be quite an action-packed day in the national capital. There are two more meets that are slated to take place. One where the NDA leaders are to meet, are to decide what exactly shall the equation finally be in the center. And we have an India bloc meet as well to take place, where again there are several questions with regards to whether the TMC will join them or not, whether Abhishek Banerjee is to be a representative for Mamata Banerjee and attend the meeting. Again, those questions are to be answered as the day does pass through. But right now, we do have Kabir with us right now live. Kabir, help us understand the updates that's coming from the Prime Minister's residence with the Union Cabinet meeting underway.
So much happening, across various quarters. First and foremost, shifting our focus to the Union Cabinet. That particular meeting is underway. Now, one has to understand that before the NDA meet actually happens, the Union Cabinet would have met. They would have decided upon who's going to get how much share of the possible kitty, what kind of share are we talking about when we're talking about alliance partners. Everybody will have to be accommodated in this new cabinet as well. Now, what we're also learning is that NDA and India Jan Bandhan, that's what they're calling it. Both these meetings are also slated to take place. 6 p.m. is when the India Jan Bandhan meeting is going to take place. And before that, the Union Cabinet has already met. This is happening at the Prime Minister's residence at 7 Lok Kalyan Mart. Of course, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah is also present over there at the Union Cabinet meet. More importantly, Honorable Chief Minister, now former Chief Minister, since he's gone to the Raj Bhavan in Odisha, Naveen Patnaik met Raghubar Das, the Governor of Odisha, and he's attended his resignation, stepped down from the post of the Chief Minister of Odisha. On the other hand, take a look at the development. Chandrababu Naidu and Pawan Kalyan, the two, now particular stalwarts from Andhra Pradesh that have mustered up a proper victory for the NDA alliance, 16 for TDP, about 2-3 for the Janasena. This entire coalition of seats will now add into the kitty of the National Democratic Alliance, which they desperately need. Only a short while ago, we were talking about how Jairam Ramesh took a dig at the Home Minister that Bharatiya Janata Party is now going on every door because they can't turn away any vote or anybody that's coming in and joining their strength in numbers. So Pawan Kalyan and Andhra Pradesh's former Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, TDP leader, they've made their way to the national capital. NDA meeting is going to take place after Union Cabinet meeting. Currently, the Union Cabinet meeting is underway, and at 6 p.m., the India Jan Bandhan, that's what they're calling it. It's not a Gat Bandhan, it's the Jan Bandhan, India Jan Bandhan. That meeting will take place, for which, of course, Supriya Sule, Sharad Pawar, all the India Alliance leaders, they had already started making a beeline to the national capital. That's going to happen at 6 p.m. in the evening. Several of these other leaders are still making their way to the national capital. Many of them already in the national capital since last night. Mamata Banerjee is also going to be taking part in this particular meeting. That's the latest that we're tracking. The Union Cabinet meeting that's underway, NDA is soon going to follow, and the India Jan Bandhan meeting at 6 p.m. today to strategize in terms of what is going to happen.
Right, Kabir, do stay with us right now. I'll quickly just take this question from Gautam as well. Gautam, with the Union Cabinet meeting being underway, let's also quickly discuss about a possible alliance shift, or rather parties shifting their support with the alliances that they're currently associated with. Are we looking at any such instances?
I think the ND alliance is desperate to get somebody else to join them so that they can actually make a bid for power. It seems highly unlikely, because they are too far away from the magic mark, and you can't just be at 272, because if one person leaves you, you're in trouble. You've got to be bigger than a little more than that, rather like the NDA. There is no chance of that, but you can't blame them for trying. As far as the NDA goes, I think they're fairly secure in terms of who they have, mainly Nitish and Chandrababu Naidu, and they have spoken to both, and both are pretty convinced that their best bet in terms of their own interests lies with the NDA and not with the ND Gathbandhan. So if the ND Gathbandhan is thinking of coming into power, it won't be now in any case. It is Narendra Modi who's going to be sworn in, and he will form his new cabinet. The key ministries will stay with BJP. That is your home, foreign affairs, finance, and defense. And others may well be shared with the alliance partners.
Gautam, in fact, as you speak of the portfolios, I'm very sorry to interfere there. Do you expect some, surprises being announced with regards to the portfolios? Who might get what?
there will be a shuffle, sure, within the BJP, as well as, in terms of the demands made by allies. But I can't see the core ministries going outside the BJP. 240 is 240. And I don't think they're going to negotiate the key ministries. But the others, by all means, they probably want to keep railways with the BJP as well, because they're making a lot of progress in the railways, aviation as well, because these are areas of great emphasis, roads and highways, roads, ports, highways, which is with Gadkari. These they will like to keep, but let us see what Chandrababu Naidu wants and what Nitish wants, and they will be accommodated as far as is practical.
In fact, Gautam, at this point, there's also another question that comes, to the light, or rather to the fore here, which is JP Nadda's term will shortly, in a short while, come to an end. Do you think he is up for another term as the president for the BJP, especially with the results having been this for the polls?
My own guess is no, he's already received an extension. I think normally they do not give presidents of the party more than one term. Nadda has already exceeded that. I think he will go and happily go and become a mentor to the next man, whoever is chosen. And you also need a fresh approach. And Nadda has done a lot of good work as well, particularly in cobbling together alliances after post-election. This happened in Karnataka, this happened in Maharashtra, happened in Goa, happened in a number of other places. So he's good at that. He doesn't always win outright. He's not as good as Amit Shah at the electoral maths and the choices and the emphases. But then each person brings his own strength to the table, where I think the BJP has really done very badly is West Bengal.
Right, Gautam. Gautam, in fact, if we continue the conversation state-wise, there will be enough to talk about. But unfortunately, we have run out of time for this bulletin. We will keep the conversation rolling through the day right here on News9 Live as we speak about the results that's been out, the historic results that's been out on June 4th. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
One of southern India's largest cities is facing a water crisis in Bengaluru.
Water is constantly not coming. From the past 2 months, we are not having some water also.
The citizens deserve water security at the very least.
We are going office without bath.
The acute water shortage really leading to citizens resorting to use of even private water tankers in multiple areas.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Why is the state not looking at putting an embargo on that?
as a Telangana person, I will not accept.
How do ordinary folks deal with this?
There are beautiful golf courses, there are well-played golf courses, there are great greens. But I think we are a combination of everything.
Now, because of the nature-friendly atmosphere here, plenty of water, you can hear the birds. So lots and lots of birds live on this golf course.
Every corner you have a different vista. You have the beautiful Sayadri range behind you and it's just endless. It keeps going on and on and on and on. So I think no matter what floor you are, you're always slapped in the face by this most amazing view that takes your breath away for a second.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
20,000 people and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ